In the late 13th century, Scotland was plunged into civil strife over the issue of the throne succession. King Edward I, also known as Longshanks, of England took the opportunity to invade. He brutally suppressed the Scottish nobles and commoners. He imposed harsh policies such as the Jus Prima Noctis. He cornered the Scots. The father and elder brother of the protagonist Wallace decided to lead the Scots to rise up in resistance, but they sacrificed their lives in the struggle against the British army. Young Wallace was the only one left in the family. At the funerals of his father and elder brother, young Wallace was heart-broken. After everyone had left, a little girl broke free from her mother's hands. She picked a purple thistle from the ground and gave it to Wallace. The thistle is the national flower of Scotland. In the film, it symbolizes the national tenacity, and its thorny form also implies the will to take revenge tat. Then, Wallace's uncle rode up on horseback. He took young Wallace to travel around the world, and he taught Wallace Scottish culture and martial arts. Soon, more than a decade passed. As an adult, Wallace returned to his hometown. He just happened to come across a wedding of a newly wed couple. Here, Wallace recognized his childhood playmate. He also met the girl Melon who had given him the flower back then. But just when everyone was singing and dancing to celebrate, suddenly, the English nobles arrived with their troops. They wanted to take away the bride to exercise the Jus Prima Noctis. The groom rushed up to stop them, but a soldier held a knife to his neck. Although the Scots were extremely angry, they could only watch helplessly as the bride was taken away. After the wedding ended, Wallace invited Melon to gallop on horseback. They talked about life in the mountains and forests. They watched the sunset and sunrise together, as they got to know each other better. As time went by, the two quickly fell in love. So on a quiet and late night, Wallace took out a handkerchief embroidered with a pattern from his chest, and gave it to Murron as a token of their love. The two secretly promised to marry each other, but Wallace was afraid that the nobles would take Murron away. So he decided to hold a secret wedding, witnessed by the godfather and the moonlight. The two got married. Afterwards, the two leaned against nature under the night sky. They completed the rite of passage in life. They started a happy life. But the good times didn't last long. The English soldiers soon noticed that the relationship between the two was special. Taking advantage of Wallace's absence, a soldier tried to make improper advances towards Murron. Murron fought desperately against him. She bit the face of the English soldier. Enraged, the English soldiers tied Murron to a stake. They directly cut her throat with a knife. The beautiful love between the two came to an abrupt end at this moment. When Wallace came back, he found Murron brutally killed. Filled with grief and anger, he deliberately pretended to surrender. Taking advantage of the English soldier's lowered guard, he suddenly pulled out an iron rod from behind. He smashed the soldier's head. Another English soldier immediately stabbed the warhorse with a spear. The warhorse, stung by the pain, threw Wallace off. Wallace immediately got up. He quickly turned around and killed the English soldier. Then he took the soldier's long sword.